else is having a hard time hearing you, but it's hard to hear you.
Is this better?
A little bit.
Excuse me, I would like to call to order today's meeting of the State of Nevada Board of Examiners for Tuesday, January 11th, 2022 at 10 a.m. to order. If I could ask the clerk to take the roll, please.
Governor Sisolak.
Here.
Secretary of State Sagaski.
I'm here.
Attorney General Ford.
Here.
Let the record reflect we do have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 2, public comment. This is the first time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board on any item on today's agenda, items on the agenda, please step forward and identify yourself for the record. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anyone in Las Vegas for public comment? And you guys want to speak? Okay. Anybody in Carson City? Susan?
We have one person in Carson City that's approaching the table.
Good morning.
Good morning, Governor. Good morning, respected board members. My name is Kevin Ramft, a retired correctional officer for the state of Nevada and a current union representative for AFSCME Local 4041. Today, I would like to speak about agenda item 10, contract number 22. This is a new Department of Corrections contract focused on providing a study of various positions, which include an analysis of vacancy and turnover rates, comparisons of salaries and benefits to other states, and ways to improve recruitment and retention. I'm here to explain why you should vote no on this contract. Last month, it was reported that the Department of Corrections had the highest amount of overtime and accrued comp time leave in 2021 at $6.59 million. Today, I'm here to save the taxpayers of Nevada from an expensive $289,000 for this unnecessary contract. In addition to this overtime that's been happening and the additional comp time that you'll continue to pay if things are not changed. The answer to this problem is simple. You must treat the correctional officers better and pay them a comparable wage. The current minimum salary for state of Nevada correctional officers is $49,000. In comparison, correctional officers for the local governments like Washoe or Las Vegas are offered the same position for a beginning wage between $54,000 and $59,000. When considering the maximum pay, the current salary for state correctional officers is approximately $73,000, although they rarely reach that maximum salary because they're gone. Whereas a local government like Henderson, correctional officers might top out at $98,000. On January 6, 2022, the Treasury Department issued their final rule for the use of coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funding. Nevada received $2.7 billion. The Treasury Department allows these funds to be used to hire employees above the pre-pandemic baseline. We suggest that you allocate some of these funds to recruit and hire more correctional officers instead of continuing to exhaust those we have managed to retain in state service. Some officers have been forced to work mandatory overtime for as many as 4 days in a row. The Treasury Department also allows for these funds to be used to reimburse state employees who lost 6 days to furloughs last year. Those days equated to 2.5% cut that negatively impacted these officers, to which the state proposed a reimbursement and has yet to deliver. To quote the Treasury Department directly, they said, reasonable increases in compensation to persuade employees to remain with their employer as compared to other employment options. It is accessible use of those funds. Since these funds are available now is the time to make this right. Although pay is definitely a concern, the lack of respect is also a problem. Recently, AFSCME certified bargaining units, this unit of officers included, were awarded a final binding 3% pay increase for the current fiscal year by an arbitrator. which we hope this board will soon take up for consideration. Respect our workers by respecting their contract, including these negotiated wage increases. In closing, we are all aware of NDOC's staffing shortages and that turnover is way too high. We also know that overtime is costing the state millions of dollars a year for this department. And we have just seen why. The proposed contract is not only unnecessary, but it is a concern to these officers who would rather use the money to work towards a solution now, not spend it on a deep dive into problems we already know exist. You just have to find the will to do it. Fix these problems now with the money you currently have, and maybe, just maybe, you will see the change for the better within the Department of Corrections here in this great state of Nevada. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else in Carson City wishing to speak?
I don't see anybody else.
Okay, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Was that a no?
There's nobody in the room here in Carson City?
Okay, thank you. Do we have anybody online or any written public comment?
We did not have anybody call in and ask for the number for online public comment.
Okay, thank you. Then I'll close public comment, move on to item number 3, approval of the December 14th, 2021 meeting minutes.
Move for approval. This is Barbara Sagaski, Secretary of State.
We have a motion on the floor from Secretary Sagaski. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4, state vehicle purchases.
Good morning. There are 4 requests for vehicles in this agenda item. The first request is from the Department of Administration Fleet Services to purchase 3 new vehicles and 1 replacement vehicle for an amount up to $150,176. Funds for these vehicles are included in agency budgets. I would just note that these vehicles were approved by the board at their October 2021 meeting, and they are being re-requested due to price increases. The second request is from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Division of Environmental Protection, to purchase 1 replacement vehicle for an amount up to $38,048. The vehicle being replaced has met the age and/or mileage requirements in the State Administrative Manual. Funding for this is included in the agency budget. The next request is from the Department of Public Safety, State Fire Marshal Division, to purchase 1 replacement vehicle for an amount up to $42,477. The vehicle being replaced has met the age and mileage requirements in SAM. Funding for this vehicle is contingent upon IFC approval at the February IFC meeting. And the final request is also from the Department of Public Safety, State Fire Marshal Division, to purchase 1 vehicle for an amount up to $137,790. Funding for this is available in the agency budget. Are there any questions on any of these items?
No. Do we have any questions regarding the vehicle purchases?
Yes, I do.
Secretary
this is Barbara.
Sagaski, go ahead.
Thank you, Governor. I just wanted to find out why the agency wouldn't honor the price that they had on the first vehicle, the fleet services, just why it wasn't being honored. I'm going to vote yes, but I'm just curious as to why they wouldn't honor the price they had given. Yes, I do.
Secretary Sagaski, go ahead.
Thank you, Governor. I just wanted to find out why the agency wouldn't honor the price that they have.
Yep, we got that. I think they called somebody to the table. I can't tell, so.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like they recorded me.
Yes,
Okay.
we have Robbie Burgess, the Administrator of the Fleet Services Division, to answer your question.
Good morning, Governor and fellow board members. Robbie Burgess with the Fleet Service Division. We initially put these vehicles before the board last year, and Chevrolet, predominantly all the vehicles that we ordered were Chevrolets because of the cost. We were fulfilling the agency's request with the Chevrolet vehicles because they were a lower cost. Right after BOE, Chevrolet abruptly canceled all of the government sales. So we had to look for another avenue, and that's the reason we went to a price increase, and we went from Chevrolet to Ford, because overall Chevrolet was not going to sell any government vehicles whatsoever because they had stopped production.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Governor.
You're most welcome.
Certainly. Do we have any further?
Go ahead. I'll move approval.
Do we have any further questions on item number 4? Do I have a motion on item number 4?
I move for approval.
We have a motion on the floor from Secretary Sagaski. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 5, authorization to contract with the current and/or former state employee. Want to take these all together? Go ahead, Susan.
Okay, item number 5 contains 3 requests to contract with former employees pursuant to NRS 333.705 subsection 1. Item 5A is from the Department of Administration Purchasing Division to contract with a former employee to provide training for the fiscal management section for the Division of Environmental Protection. This individual will be employed on a part-time basis through Marathon Staffing Group, and the duration of the contract is expected to be approximately 6 months. Item 5B from the Department of Administration Purchasing Division is to contract with a former employee to provide fiscal administrative duties to various agencies. This individual will be employed through HAT Limited Partnership, doing business as Manpower. It is my understanding this person would also be working part-time, and the duration of this contract is expected to be approximately 1 year and 3 months. Item 5C is from the Department of Transportation to contract with a former employee to provide design and program support services for statewide projects within the Traffic Operations Center. This individual will be employed on a full-time basis through CA Group Incorporated, and the duration of this contract is approximately 11 months. Are there any questions on these items?
This is Barbara Sagaski, Governor.
Go ahead, Secretary Sagaski.
It was my understanding in my notes that B was withdrawn. Is that correct?
There were originally 4 items under this agenda item, so there was a request for, the employee's name was Shelley Fleming, and that was withdrawn by the agency, so that should not be on your agenda.
Okay, that it's still on mine that was questioned. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure of. Thank you very much, Governor.
Okay, but we've got a new B, so we do have 3 of them, right?
There are 3. The first is Department of Administration for Darrell N. Dobson. The second one is Purchasing Division with Colleen Murphy, and the third one is the Department of Transportation with Huang Hong. Those are the
Got
3
it.
items for approval today.
Thank you. Do we have a motion on this item number 5 for all 3?
Move approval.
Got a motion for approval from General Ford. Any discussion? Hearing, seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, item number 6, request for recommendation of approval to the Interim Finance Committee on allocation amount from the contingency account.
Agenda item 6 includes 1 request for a positive recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee pursuant to NRS 353.268. The general fund contingency account has an approximate balance of $26.4 million to cover unanticipated costs for the remainder of the 21-23 biennium. If this item is approved, the remaining balance in the account would still be approximately $26.4 million. This request is from the Department of Indigent Defense for an allocation of $62,010 to cover the cost of a data analyst contract to conduct a wage salary survey, incentive program, and oversight project for Indigent Defense Services. Are there any questions on this item?
Do we have any questions on item number 6? Hearing, seeing none. Do we have a motion on that? We got a motion for approval from General Ford. Any discussion? Hearing, seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item number 7, request approval of proposed state administration manual changes.
Item number 7 is a request for approval to revise the State Administrative Manual. The changes are to SAM, which is State Administrative Manual, Chapter 1600, Section 1618 and 1622. These revisions are requested to correct and clarify processes for technology investment notifications and cloud investment notifications, and to update terminology within the State Administrative Manual. Are there any questions on this item?
Do we have any questions on item number 7? Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
A motion from General Ford. Any discussion? Hearing, seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion, any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 8, request to pay a cash settlement.
Item number 8, pursuant to Article 5, Section 21 of the Nevada Constitution, the State Board of Examiners may approve, settle, or deny any claim or action against the state, any of its agencies, or any of its present or former officers, employees, immune contractors, or state legislators. In this request, the Department of Transportation is requesting approval to pay a judgment in the amount of $1,740,725.31 in the inverse condemnation matter of Jennifer Walker, Matthew Walker versus the State of Nevada Department of Transportation. This amount constitutes payment of the judgment, interest, attorney's fees, and costs awarded by the court and will be paid from the highway fund. Are there any questions on this item?
No. Do we have any questions on item number 8? This isn't really a settlement, it's a judgment.
It's a judgment, that's right. I think the title of number 8 is incorrect, but the description is accurate, and as I understand it, that makes it okay.
So that's okay? You want to say that on the record?
Sure. Rosalie Bordelove here, counsel. Yes, the heading is incorrect, titling it as a judgment, but the description on the posted agenda states that it is a judgment and has accurate information.
Okay.
Good to go.
We have a motion from General Ford. Is there any discussion on this matter? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 9, approval of proposed leases.
There are 7 leases under agenda item 9 for approval by the board today. Are there any questions on any of these items?
I do not have any, but again, I want to thank you, Susan, for your staff for briefing me and answering all the questions we had during a briefing, so definitely helped. Do we have any questions on item number 9? Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
General Ford moves approval. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 10, approval of proposed contracts.
There are 27 contracts in agenda item 10 today for approval by the board. Are there any questions on these items?
I don't have any questions. Do you have any questions on item number 10? Anybody?
So, Governor, this is Barbara Sagaski. I would just like to echo what you said and thank your staff for reaching out to us and answering our questions as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
Approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And Director Brown, I want to compliment Secretary Sagaski. I know she's always very complimentary on your staff's work. All of the meetings don't go this smoothly, believe it or not, that we sit in on, the group of us here. And this is very smooth because of the work that's done prior to the meeting actually happening. So we really do appreciate what you're doing. Item number 11, approval of proposed master service agreements.
Thank you. There are 2 master service agreements under agenda item 11 for approval by the board. Are there any questions on these items?
Yes, Governor, I have to make a disclosure on agenda item number 11, contract number 2, and it's the master service agreement with Opportunity Village. Can I make that now?
Please.
Okay. I do not believe the independence of judgment of a reasonable person in my situation would be materially affected by my relationship with Opportunity Village as a board member. Based on the nature of my relationship with Opportunity Village, I am not going to recuse from voting on contract number 2 of the agenda item 11. I now ask the Deputy Attorney General if that disclosure is satisfactory under NRS Chapter 281A.
Yes, it is, Secretary.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. And while I'm not on the board of Opportunity Village, I'm a huge fan of the charity, so I don't need to disclose that and the work that they do, and it will not affect my ability to consider this agreement. Do we have a motion?
Move for approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion? Hearing, seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 12, approval of proposed work plan.
There is one work plan under agenda item 12 for approval by the board. Are there any questions on this item?
I do not have any questions. Do we have any questions on item number 12?
I'm
Here
here.
and seeing none. Do we have a motion?
Move
General,
approval.
General Ford moves approval. Any discussion on that motion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next item is information only, clerk of the board contracts. Do we have any question on these items? This is an information item. Okay.
None here.
Item number 14, information item reports. Do we have any question on these? No questions. Item number 15, public comment. This is the second time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board on any item, please step forward, identify yourself for the record, and comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Do we have anybody for this public comment in Las Vegas? You guys just all watching us, sir. Randall, did you have a comment? Okay. Do we have any public comment in Carson City?
I'm not seeing any public comment in Carson City.
Could the record reflect that Randall Brems did not have any public comment to make? Do we have anyone on the phone for public comment? Hearing and seeing none. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.